All right, y'all. This is the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 10, episode 16. So we have two different conversations going on in regards to this whole Kim and Brielle versus Nene situation. I'm gonna talk about Kim and Sheree's conversation first. So of course Sheree is telling Kim about the Barcelona trip and how Sheree had to sleep on two twin size mattresses, and Kim is like, with your bad back or whatever. And Sheree is like, these hoes is inconsiderate and everything. And that prompts Kim to start it up with Nene. And she's saying how Nene has been using her back for about 40 something years now as a stripper or something like that she said about Nene. And they start talking about the all white party and how Nene was saying how Brielle, her or Brielle wasn't even invited. But Kim is like, Brielle was invited by Brent, Nene's youngest son and everything. So I don't know what she talking about or whatever, this, that, and the third. And, she's sitting up here saying how Nene wants to pull the race card or whatever because a few months ago when this whole situation went down, Brielle had, clapped back at a fan or whatever. And so Nene clapped back at Brielle. And, in Nene's response, she had said something about, the whole family being racist and all this other stuff, blase, blase. And I mean, listen, people have been kind of, saying that about Kim for years. And y'all know I be calling her Master Kim sometimes. I don't really know if Kim is racist, but she definitely is prejudiced. Definitely is prejudiced. Can't nobody tell me no different. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's get back on it. So, Sheree had the audacity to sit up here and say Nene went below the belt or whatever, like as if her and Kim ain't been going below the belt with each other for years. Like, let's be honest here. Like, Sheree, stop acting like Kim is just so innocent all the time and like you don't be knowing what the fuck be going on. You know what I'm saying? And you just, I can't. I can't. Anyways, so Kim had a cease and desist order sent to Nene or whatever, and Sheree thinks that kids should be off limits, and it's just like, I mean, listen, if Brielle gonna sit up here and get out there in these streets and act like she grown, then I mean, you know what I'm saying? We can't sit up here and be like 1 minute, oh, she's just a child and blase, blase. And then the next minute is, oh, she grown, whatever, whatever. Nah, pick a side. Pick a side. Either she gonna be a kid and stay in a child's place, or she gonna get out here in these streets with these grown folks and take whatever the fuck coming to her. Like, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't. So anyways, like, I can't. But anyways, so especially when Brielle's sitting up here disrespecting motherfuckers and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, so Sheree is telling Nene, I mean Nene. Sheree is telling Kim about how, Nene was pressing her as to whether or not she was going to say something to Kim about the whole post and everything, this, that, and the third. And, they was just kind of laughing about it and saying whatever else that they were saying. I didn't really care. On the other side of town, Nene is having a conversation with Greg and Brent about it or whatever. And, Nene is saying how she responded back to Brielle after Brielle clapped back at a fan or whatever, and how the whole thing ended up on the shade room and blase blase. And Greg is trying to figure out where did all this shit start from. And Nene is saying how Sheree invited Kim as her plus one or whatever, and how Kim really wasn't invited, but she let it go. And then how Brielle wasn't invited either, but you know what I'm saying? And she did the snap in their bathroom or whatever, this, that, the third. And I just, she just don't understand or whatever and everything, because she really didn't invite them or whatever. And I think they started kind of questioning Brent, because I think Nene was saying, well, they said that you invited her or something like that. And Brent is like, I mean, well, she hit me up first. You know what I'm saying? She was saying that she was looking at their old house around the neighborhood or whatever. And, they was at, Brielle was asking was our home and everything, this, that, and the third, and he told them to come on by and everything. And so then, Nene, she's like, oh, okay, it all makes sense now, why are you attending a party, I'm saying, that your mom is attending, with adults, and it's an all white party or whatever, this, that, and the third. And Nene is pretty much saying how she's not feeling the word roach or whatever, because to her, when somebody that's not black or whatever says something like that, it's like as if it's like as if it's associated with trash and ghetto, the stereotype and all that stuff. And so they flash back at some times where Kim has said some questionable shit, because they talk about Nene saying the whole racist thing or whatever, and they flash back to sometimes that Kim has said some questionable shit that made people kind of look at her like, girl, is you racist? You know what I'm saying? And like, listen, just because a motherfucker hang around black people does not mean that they can't be racist or have some prejudice in them. Okay? I'm just saying. Anyways, moving along. I hope I didn't confuse you guys too much. I hate when they do those cross conversations like that, but hopefully you guys understood what was going on. So anyways, we have Sheree and Candy. They go to, I don't know if they went to like some juice bar or something like that. It don't even really matter for real, but they meet up, and Candy is talking about the tour drama with Nene. I'm pretty sure you guys heard about that in the blogs too. With Nene supposedly being the opening act for Escape and everything, and the joke that Nene told about the whole the Uber driver, I hope you get raped by your Uber driver, or whatever she said to the heckler in the audience and everything. And Candy is saying that she thought that it could have blew over, but her group members, they was like, hell no, no, to the no, no, no. And I don't blame them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, I understand that old girl told her, to kill herself and everything, but I just I couldn't even picture my mind going that far left. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm sorry, wait. That far left, this my left, okay? I can't picture my mind going that far left and saying some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Not even if I was drunk or something. You know what I mean? I just... Yeah, that it wasn't good. It wasn't good for Nene to say at all. You know what I'm saying? And Sheree, she's surprised that Sheree is, Candy was kind of trying to defend Nene or whatever a little bit, and because she's like, the girl did tell her to kill herself and everything, and Sheree is like, listen, I would never say no shit like that, like, my mind wouldn't even go there, and she's, surprised that Candy is taking it so lightly, considering the incident, with her and Portia or whatever, which is true, and Candy lets, Sheree know that she has talked to Nene since the whole incident and everything, and pretty much let her know what the verdict was, and Nene says that she understands and everything, this, that, and the third, and Candy does kind of feel bad for her or whatever. Sheree don't really feel bad for Nene and everything, and she's like, listen, you are accountable for your actions or whatever, and that is so true. You are accountable for your actions and what you say out your mouth and everything, and that leads her into the whole Kim and Nene situation, and how now Kim is getting death threats or whatever, this, that, and the third, and Candy lets it be known that Kim wants to do lunch with her, and it's just weird because, it kind of came out the blue and everything, and, Candy is just like, she just don't want to be in the middle of, the shit with her and Nene or whatever, and, Sheree is like, well, what would make you think that, you gonna get on somebody's bad side or whatever, this, that, and the third. And so Candy is like, I mean, honestly, I feel like Kim was wrong for that video or whatever. And Sheree was like, okay, well then, tell her that then, let her know how you feel or whatever. And Sheree is like, but do you feel, Sheree, now she's saying that they're both wrong or whatever. She's like, do you agree with, Nene sitting up here saying, she racist and all this other stuff? And Candy's like, no, I don't, agree with that either. You know what I'm saying? Like, they both wrong or whatever. So, moving on, we have, Marlo and Cynthia going over to see Nene and everything. And, to check up on her since the whole incident. And, Nene talks about, the situation with Kim first, because she been having a rough week, and it's like every time her name pops up in the blogs, it's something negative. You know what I'm saying? So they talk about the situation with Kim, and how Kim went to go get a lawyer and everything, but did Kim forget that she continuously has been saying that Nene must be on some drugs, on some type of pills or whatever? And they flash back, even in this episode, Kim was saying that she feels like Nene is on something or whatever, and I wish she would stop saying that stupid shit too. Like, I really wish she would stop saying that stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so, yeah. I wish she would stop saying that. You know what I mean? But anyway, so, Nene, she's saying the Uber joke was something that her and Cynthia kind of came up with. I mean, not the rape part, but just the joke itself, they kind of came up with or whatever. And somehow it just went completely left with her telling that girl, I hope you get raped by your Uber driver and everything. But, Nene is saying, like, the person told me to kill myself or whatever while I was talking or whatever, this, that, and the third, and everybody just looking at me and everything. And it's like, listen, Nene, you gonna be out here doing all, this comedy shit or whatever, you gotta know how to handle hecklers better than that. Because, yeah, at the end of the day, they are gonna come at you because you're the more known name. And then on top of that, you have been an advocate for domestic abuse, domestic violence, and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So for you to say something like that, it's just like, hold up, wait a minute now. Didn't she kind of been through some stuff similar to this before, and she gonna sit up here and tell another woman something like that? So it's like, yeah, you got these real comedians who have people saying crazy shit to them all the time, and they mind don't go left field like that. I mean, it's like, shit, you couldn't have talked about the girl outfit, her hair, or something, something like that. Like, yeah, like I said, I just can't see my mind just going that far left and going there with it. You know what I'm saying? But I just hope that this be a lesson to Nene, and she think before she speak, from here on out. You know what I'm saying? And Nene's, she sad because she said what she said to the girl and blah blah blah. So then we have Candy and Kim. Candy, she been sitting there for a couple hours waiting on Kim. I would have. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, 2 hours? I would have been took my ass home, or at least ordered me something to eat, and then probably went home. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all know Candy like to eat and stuff like that. I was surprised she was able to hold out for 2 hours before she. I'm just saying, y'all know Candy like to eat and everything, but I'm pretty sure the producers made her sit there or whatever. So that's probably why she sat there for that long, because I can't see Candy just sitting there for nobody in real life. But anyways, so Kim finally arrives or whatever, and Kim is already like, hopefully I don't be long, my love, or whatever, to Croy and everything, this, that, and the third. And he's like, yeah, hopefully not, and all this other stuff. And Kim tries to make the excuse that it was like a wreck, I guess, on the highway or whatever. She's like, you didn't get my pictures and everything. And Candy is like, no. Like, I guess she was trying to send Candy some pictures of the wreck or whatever that supposedly happened on the highway on their way there. But anyway, so, Kim is like, I've been hearing that you're annoyed with, the fact that Croy always drops me off or whatever, this, that, and the third. And they flash back to earlier in the episode when Sheree and Kim was having a conversation, and Sheree didn't single Candy out or whatever. She was saying really in general, like the girls are annoyed with, Croy always having to drop you off somewhere or whatever, yada, yada, yada. And, Kim is like, I love my husband and all this other stuff. And Candy is like, girl, I love my husband too, but he ain't about to be dropping me off everywhere and, picking me up and all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? And, Kim talks about how, she loves to drink, and that's why, she has him, drop her off and pick her drunk ass up and everything, and, Candy is like, it's not really so much that he drops you off and picks you up. It's more about you being present. More, Candy is pretty much saying you are not really engaged with the group or whatever because you always focused and worried about Croy every 5 fucking minutes. You know what I'm saying? And we can't really enjoy your company and you enjoy ours and we enjoy each other because it's always Croy this and Brielle that and the other kids and you know what I'm saying? But so yeah. And here go Kim sitting up here talking about she thinks it's jealousy from other people. She was like, I know it's not from you, but I think it's from other people and I know who it's from. It's like, Kim, who the fuck is jealous of you? Who? People gotta stop with thinking that motherfuckers is jealous and hating on them all the time. That's not always the fucking case. Like, just because somebody don't agree with you or somebody don't like something that you do or whatever, that means they gotta be hating or being jealous. Like, get the fuck out of here. So, Candy, she feels like, Kim just looks for an excuse to leave or whatever. And Kim is like, I don't care who drops you off or who picks you up. Your husband could be outside and I wouldn't know it and everything. Like, how would you know or whatever? And Candy is like, girl, because you talk about it the whole time that you're with us. You know what I'm saying? And they flash back to the times where Kim has talked about Croy and talked about even 10 minutes, beforehand, before she walked into the restaurant, how she was already anticipating to leave before her and Candy, really started having a conversation. So, she wants Candy to give an example or whatever, and Candy gives an example from the elephant room and saying, you was calling, your husband, and Kim is like, when the fuck did I call my husband? And Candy's like, hold up, who the fuck you cussing at? I said, you better go off, Candy, okay? And she's like, are we having a conversation or what? And Kim is like, I don't know because I'm getting irritated or whatever. And Candy is like, well, if that's the case, get your ass up and walk out like you always do. I said, I had to raise my hands up when she said that shit. I said, Candy, you better say that shit, okay? So, Candy is like, you're on 10 for no fucking reason or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they do they little back and forth a little bit. And then, Candy is like, listen, if you feel like I was jumping the gun or whatever by saying you're not present, then cool, whatever. Pretty much let's move on. I was like, hold on, wait a minute now. No, fuck that. Like, in that moment, I probably would have got up my damn self and walked the fuck away. You know what I'm saying? Like, the conversation just seemed kind of weird to me after that, because then they started talking about their families and all this other stuff, and Candy being back on tour with the group and everything, and how they're trying to get reacquainted with one another, and Kim is asking about Nene, and it's like, why the fuck you worried about Nene? Didn't you send a cease and desist order out on her to not talk about you? So why are you talking? Why are you concerned about her and her being on the tour and all this other stuff? Child, I cannot. So, anyways, of course, Candy talks about the whole situation, that happened with Nene and the tour or whatever. And, once again, Kim is saying how she think Nene on something or whatever. And, Candy is like, well, I don't think it was cool for you to send those videos knowing what was going to happen. And, Kim says that Nene has been trying to ruin her credibility for 10 years. And it's like, what credibility? Don't nobody give a fuck about you, Kim, unless you're on this show. And even then, we really don't give a fuck about you, but we have to talk about you. Like, let's be serious here. Like, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. And the last time we knew you and Nene was on good terms. The minute that she pissed you off, though, you had all this information to just throw out there. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know I'm not saying like Nene innocent or whatever, because like I've said before, Nene and Kim have both just been back and forth over the years. But in the current moment, y'all didn't have an issue with one another. Y'all were on cordial terms. You waited for the minute for her to piss you off to sit up here and throw stuff out there. But then you want to sit up here and play the victim like you always do. Child, I cannot. I cannot. I don't like Kim. Y'all already know. I don't like Kim. Candy is saying, you don't need to be putting your daughter in stuff or whatever, this, that, and the third. And, Kim is like, I didn't put her in it and all this other stuff, blase, blase. And, Candy is trying to explain about the whole roaches and why, it can be taken as an insult or whatever, especially the black people and everything. And, Candy don't feel as though Kim is racist, but, being that she's the only white girl in the group, it can lead to issues sometimes and, all this other stuff. And they leave the conversation on a good note or whatever. But that was the episode, you guys. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys share the video, and I'll be back in here for Love and Hip Hop Miami. All right, y'all.